The maintenance bay of the Titan's Resolve hummed with the usual cacophony of repairs when Anna burst through the reinforced doors, her scales shimmering with distress patterns that Bossid had learned to recognize over their 3 years together in the Human Draconian Alliance fleet. "They're beating my dragon mother." Anna's voice cracked, her reptilian features contorted in anguish. Tears. Actual tears, something Bossid had only seen once before, streamed down her angular face. Bossid dropped his plasma wrench. The clang echoed through the suddenly silent bay as every human pilot turned toward the 7-foot dragon girl, who had become their unofficial mascot and navigator. Her wings trembled, half unfurled in agitation. "Who?" Bossid's voice was quiet, deadly calm. "The Kreth enforcers at the eastern dock. They say she owes." Anna choked on the words. "They say she owes tribute for harboring a hybrid abomination. They're using shock pikes, Bossid. She's chained to the ground." The bay remained silent for exactly 3 seconds. Then Lieutenant Chun moved first, slamming the emergency locker open. "Suits on. Now." "Chun, we're on shore leave," someone protested weakly. "Diplomatic station. We can't just." Bossid was already pulling on his combat exoframe, the hydraulics hissing to life. His dark eyes met Anna's golden ones. They hurt family. That was all it took. Within 90 seconds, 12 human pilots were armed and moving. No official orders, no command authorization. Just 12 humans who had flown beside Anna through the hellgates of Proxima, who had watched her save their lives more times than they could count, who had shared rations and stories and bleeding wounds in the black between stars. The Kreth were a warrior species, tall, crystalline, proud. They had dominated this sector for 6,000 years, enforcing their laws with ruthless efficiency. They didn't negotiate. They didn't compromise. They certainly didn't expect humans to care about a dragon. The eastern dock was a mess of cargo containers and dim lighting. 5 Kreth enforcers stood in a circle around a massive dragon, easily 40 feet long, her crimson scales dulled with age and scarring. She was bound in neural chains that sparked every time she moved, forcing her to the deck plates. One enforcer held a shock pike, still crackling with residual energy. Anna's mother raised her head weakly as they approached. Her eyes, the same gold as Anna's, widened in recognition, then fear. Not for herself, for her daughter. "Humans." The lead enforcer's translator unit crackled. "This is Kreth jurisdiction. Leave." Bossid stepped forward, his exoframe whirring. He wasn't tall compared to the 9-foot crystalline warriors, but something in his posture made them shift uneasily. "Release her. Your species has no authority here. The hybrid's progenitor owes." "I'm going to say this once more," Bossid interrupted, his voice conversational. "Release her." The enforcer's crystalline face would have shown amusement if such expressions were possible for his species. "Or what, soft flesh? You'll file a diplomatic complaint." Chun stepped up beside Bossid, then Martinez, then O'Brien, until all 12 pilots formed a line. Anna stood behind them, shaking. "No complaints," Bossid said simply. "We're past that. What happened next would be discussed in Alliance headquarters for years to come. Humans, the galaxy had learned, were persistence hunters, endurance specialists. They weren't the fastest. They weren't the strongest. They weren't the most technologically advanced. But they were stubborn beyond all reason when it came to protecting their own. The fight lasted for minutes. The Kreth were warriors, yes, trained for millennia in combat. But humans were soldiers forged in the fires of a death world who had clawed their way to the stars through sheer, bloody-minded determination. And these particular humans were pilots who understood vectors and momentum, and exactly how much force an exoframe could deliver to a crystalline joint structure. When station security finally arrived, they found 5 Kreth enforcers on the deck. Their crystalline armor cracked, their pride shattered. 12 humans stood guard around a freed dragon, while a dragon girl gently nuzzled her mother's scarred face. "This will cause